How's it going, guys, and welcome back. In the previous video we discussed map size, glitches, cheats, and mainly story mechanics with storytelling. There's a few last pieces we're going to cover before we go into the last main topic. First up is the companions. As mentioned before, Fallout 3's karma system will determine which companions you can get. Star Paladin Cross with the Brotherhood of Steel requires good karma. She's not all that fun. Butch Deloria of the Tunnel Snakes requires neutral karma.
You gotta help me! My mom's trapped in there with the rat roaches!
And I'm sensing you're a bit of a bitch.
There's also Clover, who is a slave that requires evil karma. Sergeant RL3 is a Mr. Gutsy created before the Great War. He requires neutral karma. There's also Jericho, who was once a dangerous raider that settled down in Megaton. He requires evil karma. Then there's Sharon. He's a ghoul companion that you'll find in the underground. He also doesn't require karma. He's a bit boring though. Then there's Fox, obviously from Vault 87, and was one of the security guards in the vault before becoming a super mutant.
You have no idea how long I've pictured this moment in my mind.
This guy is my favorite companion along with one other. He requires good karma, and if you ask me, I like that he says stuff while we're in battle.
Yes, and the most fascinating one at that. Whoa, this technology is amazing.
Now let me be clear, I love dog meat. This dog is the shit. I love having him around. Dog meat doesn't have any karma requirements, and he is sure as hell awesome to keep around. When it comes to New Vegas, it doesn't have any requirements in order to get a companion, but you can lose companions as an option depending on your faction notoriety. For instance, Craig Boone is an ex-NCR sniper who has a grudge against the Legion. You can find him in Novak. You could lose him as a companion if you side with the Legion. Found in Jacobstown, Lily Bowen is a Nightkin super mutant and a former member of the Master's army. But who's this Master, I hear you ask? Well, it's this guy from Fallout 1.
So what shall it be? Do you join the Unity, or do you die here?
Join.
Die!
Join.
Die!
Yeah, some things you just can't unsee. Anyway, Lillian Bowen is f***ing annoying.
Oh, Jimmy, don't you go being silly now.
Then there's Rose of Sharon Cassidy, or Cass. She's a caravan merchant found at the Mojave Outpost. She will talk your f***ing ear off.
Don't they know it's burned to ash? No. Even times being what they are. Not sure I'm looking to sell.
Oh my God,
Even for
I don't
all
care.
the risk.
Arcade Gannon is a member of the Followers of the Apocalypse. He can be found in the Old Mormon Fort. Veronica Sant'Angelo is a Brotherhood scribe found at 188 Trading Post. When I first met this companion, I thought she was like a love interest or something.
I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground.
She wants the D. Oh my god, I might butcher this name. Raul Tejada is a ghoul mechanic and former gunslinger who is held hostage by Tabitha in the Black Mountain. Which reminds me, I actually found a room with all this stuff that was in Fallout 3. Like the Happy Birthday banner and the rocket paracel that was hanging over the character's crib. When it comes to Raul, he seems to suffer from depression.
Alrighty then. I'll just head out, alone, by myself, into the dangerous waste.
Yeah, really loving the New Vegas companions. Now I've heard this guy's name pronounced in ways that sound distorted. Looking at you, British YouTubers. I mean, what? It's Eddie! Eddie is a prototype iBot designed for combat and reconnaissance found in Prim in need of repair. Then there's Rex, a cyberdog that belongs to the King, located at the King's School of Impersonation in Freeside. Now I don't see much a difference in the companions between both games for there to be a positive or negative. The only thing I can think of is in New Vegas with the hardcore difficulty, companions will be marked as a non-essential character. I know I said Yes Man was the only essential, and that is only true if you're on the hardcore difficulty. I apologize for messing that up. But anyway, in Fallout 3, no matter the difficulty, companions are non-essential no matter what. Companions in New Vegas are only a tad bit more fleshed out than some companions in Fallout 3. Like it really f***ing matters though. Fox and Dogmeat still can't be beat by these characters in my opinion. I also prefer your karma being the deciding factor for what companions you can and can't get. The reason for that is because depending on the kind of person you are also determines the kind of company you keep. Like in, I don't know, real life? Just saying.
Me? Care who I am? Forgive me. I'm not used pleasantries and more used to grunts, being struck about by the others.
So the next thing we're going to talk about is hardcore mode. New Vegas has something Fallout 3 didn't. Basically a survival mode. This mode definitely will make things more immersive for those that really want to experience a more lifelike experience in the Mojave Waste. I could care less for it, but it's nice to have this option. Eating, drinking, and sleep are essential in this mode. This is where the survival skill and medicine skill would be crucial to have if you choose this difficulty. You can suffer from sleep deprivation, starvation, and thirst. If any of these go unchecked, it will kill you. A stim pack actually won't heal you right off the bat, it actually slowly regenerates your health to a point rather than being instantaneous. It won't fix broken bones and crippled limbs. You would still have to visit a doctor in order to do that. Obviously, as the name implies, this mode is for the hardcore players. Now we're going to get into the vaults. Now you can't have Fallout without vaults. Both games have 6 vaults, and it's rather important that we go over them so we can compare which game did that better, so here's what they entail. For Fallout 3 we have Vault 87. Vault 87's entrance is inaccessible. A bomb was dropped right on top of the entrance, turning it into a tomb. The radiation levels at the entrance are well over 3,500 rads a second. That will kill you in less than a second. You can get into this vault through little lamplight.
You sure about that? It's scary in there. Even I don't like going in there, and I'm really brave.
In it, you discover the vault was an experiment that tested out the FEV, or the Forced Evolutionary Virus. For those who don't know, we're introduced to the existence of the FEV in Fallout 1, which is how super mutants and centaurs were created. This ugly face for radio is a centaur, for those that can't remember. Vault 87 is also the vault where you get the Gek, or the Garden of Eden creation kit. Vault 92. Another experiment Vault attempted using white noise or subliminal messaging in order to hypnotize the residents into a mindless army. Didn't go over too well. If I remember right, this is the same place you can find a sheet of music for an old lady named Agatha.
Well, fortunately, I know where perhaps the last real violin in the world exists.
That'll give you the Black Hawk in return. Vault 101. Obviously this is where you started the game, and I think was the best way for Bethesda to start off their first Fallout game. Vault 106. Also a part of the experimental vaults, 106 was using a psychoactive drug that was being released into the air filtration system 10 days after the door first closed. That's the one where you hallucinate shit. Yeah, that was fun. Vault 108.
Gary!
Gary. 108 is inhabited by failed clones called Gary. Damn test tube babies, man, I swear. Vault 112. If you've played the main storyline, y'all will know this vault. The virtual reality vault. This was a really cool thing to add to the story. Now we come to Fallout New Vegas. Vault 3. Vault 3 is inhabited by the Fiends. They forcibly took it over from the Vault Dwellers that once lived there. It's interesting because the Vault Dwellers that used to live there actually opened their vault door in order to find help to fix a leak. After that, they began trading with other communities until the Fiends took it over from them. In order to get in, you'll either have to be wearing a Great Khan outfit or use speech to get in like I showed off in the first video. Vault 11. This is the vault where the experiment sacrifices happen. The Vault Dwellers were told if they refused to allow a sacrifice, then everyone would be killed, when in actuality an automated solution response would play informing them of the following.
Congratulations, citizens of Vault 11. You have made the decision not to sacrifice one of your own. You can walk with your head held high, knowing that your commitment to human life is a shining example to us all. And to make that feeling of pride even sweeter, I have some exciting news. Despite what you were led to believe, the population of Vault 11 is not going to be exterminated for its disobedience.
The Vault Dwellers eventually staged a coup, leaving only 5 survivors when they finally refused. 4 of these 5 survivors' bodies are found at the entrance. It's assumed the lone survivor shot them all in the head before leaving the vault for good. Then we have Vault 19. 19 was also an experiment where they segregated the dwellers into two colored sections with minimal contact. Sulfur from the cave system below them began leaking into the ventilation system, causing paranoia, leading to the vault's abandonment. Powder gangers can be found in the upper levels. Vault 21. This one experimented by creating a society that said everyone was equal and functioned primarily on gambling to resolve differences. This is the vault House came from, which is located below Vegas. House actually emerged from a hibernation chamber and won the leadership of Vault 21 in a bet, which led to the stripping of its technology and cementing in the bottom floors of the vault.
Each side of the vault had one, but the other is filled with concrete now.
Vault 22. This is the green vault I mentioned in the previous video. They experimented on 3 different species, the praying mantis, a plant similar to the Venus flytrap, and the Bavaria mordicana fungus, which was used to kill most common pests. If it wasn't for the fungus, there wouldn't be these bastards. And the vault would probably still be inhabited too. Vault 34, another experiment involving overstocking of firearms, ammunition, and recreational facilities. I'll let Pete explain this one. I apologize if you have a hard time hearing him. I'll tweak the volume so it won't be so hard to hear.
Ages ago, long before I was born, we lived underground. Everyone had guns, but the Overseer wouldn't let us explode anything, not even a hand grenade. We left and wandered the wastes. There were savages with knives. We blew them up with frag mines and grenades, burned them with flamethrowers. It was neat, but there was a downside. For every 43.6 savages we killed, we lost one of our own. We needed a new home. We needed Nellis. Here we have prospered and multiplied. Here our mighty guns destroy any savages who might try to harm us before they can even reach our gates. Nellis has revealed many secrets. It has taught us how to fly the bombers once based here, and it has taught us where to find one. And that is our story so far. For this last image is our future.
At the end of the day, both games had great vaults to explore and to learn their stories. Both games had some vaults that were a bit boring, and both had vaults with great backstories to them. Either way, both games have that part of Fallout down packed. Now let's talk about one thing that I really like, and that's collectibles. This is one of my favorites. When wandering the Capital Waste, you'll find these adorable little things. Every last one has a benefit to them as well. This is a brilliant concept. It also makes you want to explore as much as possible to find them all. It's a driving force that makes you want to keep playing. Okay, I'm probably alone in thinking that, but it's still a great concept nonetheless. New Vegas has playing cards? Is there even a point to this I'm missing? Not the best concept in my opinion. Fallout 3 has this one. Next up is random encounters. Random encounters have been a part of the franchise since the beginning. At times you'll run into some really odd stuff, like this giant dinosaur footprint in Fallout 1. Fallout 3 is littered with random encounters. It really added to the immersion of the game and made it feel as if it was its own living, breathing world. Whether it was running into an alien, runaway slaves, or an outcast super mutant. This is one of the greatest things about Fallout 3 that New Vegas just didn't have enough of.
It was something I could not do. I tried to get them to stop, but they wouldn't listen. They would have killed me if I had not run away.
With over 20 hours of gameplay with Fallout New Vegas, I didn't have a single random encounter except one. That's with the Weird Encounters perk, by the way. This was really disappointing since random encounters has always been a huge part of the Fallout franchise. Although I'm still wondering what the hell Doctor Who was doing there. Pop culture references. Like random encounters, pop culture references have also been a part of the franchise. Like the dinosaur footprint I mentioned is a reference to Jurassic Park. In Fallout 2, there's a point you have to find a man's lost son, and he has Lassie search with him. Yep, he fell down the well. I should add that there are coins in the bottom you can pick up. When you do, you get this. It's a reference to the Goonies.
This was my dream, my wish. So I'm taking it back. Taking them all back.
One of my top favorites is in Fallout 2. Let me know in the comments if you get this one. You come across a bridge with a wizard guarding it, and he asks you this. Stop. Who would cross the bridge of death? Must answer me these questions 3, or the other side to see.
Ask me questions, Breachkeeper. I am not afraid.
What is your name?
Daryl of Arroyo.
What is your quest?
To search for the Holy Gek.
Which non-player character from Fallout 1 survived to appear in the sequel?
What do you mean? NPC allies or NPC enemies?
In Fallout 3, dog meat is a reference to A Boy and His Dog, which is a film based on the book. I saw this film when I was about 9. In Fallout New Vegas, you've probably heard about the Indiana Jones reference, and let's be honest, we all probably know this one already. There's a reference to Futurama inside the cave of the Abaddon, if I'm pronouncing that right, where you'll find a fossilized dog named Seymour in reference to the Jurassic Park episode. You'll need the Wild Wasteland perk to find it. Both games have a great abundance of pop culture references.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
The downside is many in New Vegas you won't run into, unless you have the Wild Wasteland perk. The list of pop culture references is so long that each game would be an entire video on its own if I were to talk about them all. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see me do that. I've underestimated my script, so we're going to do one final installment, which will be about the weapons and the final conclusion. I want to take the time to thank you guys for watching my videos. With the recent comment on the last video, it lets me know I'm on the right track. Thank you guys so much for your feedback. I hope you guys like it so far, and if you do, don't forget to give that like button a click. It really helps out the channel. If you really like what I'm doing, also hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't done so already. As always, remember 22 and stay classy, bros.
Continue.